seen?
They do a little bit of everything.
You've been talking to them.
Okay, so I'm talking to everybody.
Talking to everybody.
They play a little bit of everything, like everybody else. They'll play man, they'll play zone, they'll pick and choose certain areas of the field what they want to do. Obviously, they do it really well. It's a good football team.
Have you seen a team that has been able to be more effective than the other against them, all the games that you watched?
Maybe one or two here and there, but not one thing that's that where you can just really set your game plan off of. They've had a little bit of success, but not a lot versus these guys.
Like the Ole Miss game, the first play, right?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
What have you seen from the defensive line and Quentin Williams this year? What have you seen from those defensive linemen?
Well, they're obviously very talented, and it's going to be a great match with our offensive line. We feel that's one of the strengths of our football team is the experience and the starts and the how well our offensive line has played throughout the course of the year. So that's going to be a great match for us. Obviously when you get down to the very best teams in the country, you're going to have challenges, and it's going to be both ways. It's going to be for them as well, and it's going to be for us as well.
When they've been most effective, do they just come at a team defensively with the linemen rushing the quarterback, or when they had some stunts or different types of blitzes?
Again, they're very good up front. They like to have four down linemen and like to get after it, and if they can do that, then that allows more guys on the back end to cover people. But again, just like every other defense, they're going to mix it up. They're going to pick and choose when they're going to bring their blitzes and their twists and their stunts and their line movements, and that's just part of the game.
Is their speed comparable to a team or teams that you played?
Well, I mean, they run well. There's a couple teams in the Big 12 conference, and we feel like that have some players that are close to what Alabama has.
Last year with that 30-day layoff to keep the rhythm going.
What did we do last year?
Yeah, as far as this year, do you think that layoff, does that hurt at all? I guess is what I'm asking.
Did it hurt it last year?
It did hurt you guys last year. What did you guys do to not have it hurt you guys?
Or did you say it did or did not hurt it? Yeah, we just do the same thing we did last year. So.
What did you guys do last year?
Well, I mean, you talking about practices when you're back home? Yeah, I mean, it's you only have so many practices back home. Obviously, the first few practices you want to try to get some of the young guys out there and some of the older players that have played. Try to allow them to kind of regroup and rest a little bit. But it's something that you kind of work up to. I think it's kind of the question you're asking. And we're to a point now. We had a really good practice yesterday. Yesterday was a normal Tuesday practice for us. This bowl game happens to be on a Saturday, so it turns out the same way a normal Saturday practice routine works out for us. This will be another heavy practice day for us as well. Everything. You just can't single out one part of the defense and say this is the strength of the team. They've got All-Americans, they got all-conference players, they've got players that's going to play in the NFL. There's not a weakness on this defense. It's two great football teams, two great matchups. It's going to be a challenge. Excuse me? No, I've done this for a long time. I'm gonna get my sleep in. Well, I think it just, maybe, everybody wants to talk about the Southeastern Conference, which is a great conference, and the Big 12 Conference doesn't do these things or whatever. We've proven over the years we've matched up to, the top teams from the top conferences in the country. Obviously, played a great Georgia team last year who, obviously had one of the best defenses in the conference and one of the best defenses in the whole country, and we thought we played a pretty good football game. We played Auburn, a couple years in the Sugar Bowl, which was the best defense in the SEC, and performed very well. So again, we respect the conference. It's going to be a great challenge, every game's different, but we know that this challenge is going to be a great one. He's just a winner. He's a leader. Again, I have not watched them very much. I think where they've evolved over the last year or two is their playmakers out on the outside, their receivers. They've got guys out there now that's going to, again, all conference player, all American players, guys that's going to play in the NFL. You're Blitnikoff winner, so it is a very good offense. And it all starts with their quarterback. He runs the show. So whichever one plays, we're looking forward to.
There's been plenty of talk about how high scoring this game is sort of expected to be by people who expect something. Does that put any additional pressure on you guys to think that you might be going into a game where the last one scored?
We've had to do that some this year as well. We just keep playing ball. That's what we tell our guys. We look forward to the opportunities to going out there every single possession and having the ball on offense, because we do know we can score and we can score fast. So hopefully we do have the ball last. Hopefully that's a good thing.
Do you ever think that you guys would be as explosive as you are this year after losing Baker?
I knew we'd be close. I think there was just, you kind of questioned when you lost Baker. We knew the ability that Kyler had. We knew how well he was in high school, the success he had at Allen High School. But again, when a guy hasn't played as many games and then he gets thrown in the live situations, that's always the $1 million question. We have the offensive line, guys that are back. Most of the receiving core was back. Most of the running backs were back. So we knew we were going to have a very good offense. But Kyler really kind of stepped up and put the icing on the cake for us. You don't really need to tell them much because they watch film. You can tell them whatever you want, but as soon as they stick the film on and they watch, how good those guys are, that's all they need to know. Again, our offensive line's experienced. They've been around a long time. They played in a lot of games. They played against a lot of great opponents. They played against some very good teams over the years. So they're educated. They know what to expect, and our offensive line coach is the best in the country, Coach Bedenbow. So he'll have those guys ready. He's special. I think he may be one of the better ones that's been around in a while. He's very quick, very strong. It's hard to block 101. It's going to be a great challenge for us. Excuse me? There'll be some, and there'll be some he won't. Yeah, so you can't spend a lot of time double teaming him because the other guys are really good as well.